He parked his old gray car near the quiet street and turned off the engine. The neighborhood looked perfect. Clean roads, big houses, green lawns. Everything was calm and silent. The man stepped out slowly, wearing simple clothes and holding a folder under his arm. He looked around, not impressed, not scared, just calm. He had not taken 5 steps when a sharp voice broke the silence. "Hey, you can't park here." A woman in her late 40s walked toward him fast. She wore sunglasses and held a clipboard like a weapon. Behind her, 2 men followed, both wearing shirts with the HOA logo. Their faces showed power and pride. "This is a private HOA community," the woman said loudly. "Who gave you permission to be here?" The man looked at her and smiled politely. His voice was calm and low. "I'm not in your HOA." That one sentence changed everything. The woman's face turned red. One of the men laughed like he had just heard a joke. "Oh, really?" the woman said. "Everyone here is in the HOA. Don't lie to us." "I'm not lying," the man replied. "I'm not part of your HOA." The group became louder. People started coming out of their houses. Curtains moved. Phones came out. Someone started recording. The HOA president stepped closer, pointing her finger at his chest. "You outsiders think you can just walk in here," she shouted. "This is a protected community." The man stepped back once, keeping his distance. "I'm not causing trouble," he said. "I just came to check the property." "What property?" one of the men laughed. "You don't own anything here." The woman turned to the crowd. "Call the police," she said. "This man is trespassing." The man did not raise his voice. He did not argue. He only nodded once. "You can call whoever you want," he said calmly. That made them even angrier. One neighbor whispered, "He looks nervous." Another said, "He will be arrested for sure." The woman dialed the police and spoke loudly so everyone could hear. "Yes, officer. We have a suspicious man. He says he's not in our HOA." "Yes," refusing to leave. She ended the call and smiled like she had won. "You should have left when you had the chance," she said. The man looked at the houses again. He took a deep breath, like someone who had waited a long time for this moment. "I'm not going anywhere," he said. Minutes passed slowly. The crowd grew bigger. People judged him with their eyes. Some laughed. Some shook their heads. Finally, police sirens were heard. 2 police cars stopped near the group. Officers stepped out and walked toward them. The HOA president spoke first. "Officer, thank God you're here. This man is trespassing. He refuses to accept HOA rules." The officers turned to the man. "Sir, can we see your ID?" He handed it over without hesitation. "Why are you here today?" one officer asked. The man answered simply, "To check my property." The HOA members laughed again. "See," the woman said. "He's lying." The officer looked at the man. "Do you have proof?" The man nodded and tapped the folder under his arm. "Yes." Before he could open it, the HOA president stepped forward. "He's wasting your time," she said. "We deal with people like him all the time." The man finally spoke with a firmer voice, still calm. "Please," he said, "let me make one call." The officer allowed it. He took out his phone and dialed a number. "I'm here," he said quietly. "Yes, please come now." He ended the call and put the phone away. The HOA president laughed again. "Calling backup? You're already done." The man looked at her, calm as ever. "We'll see," he said. In the distance, the sound of an engine approached. A black SUV turned onto the street, moving slowly toward them. The man looked at it, and for the first time, he smiled. The black SUV rolled closer and stopped near the group, but no one stepped out yet. The engine stayed on, low and quiet. The HOA president crossed her arms and smiled like she was in control. She turned to the officers and spoke fast, filling the air with confidence. "This is exactly how they try to scare us," she said. "They bring fancy cars and fake stories." The man said nothing. He stood still, hands relaxed, eyes calm. People whispered around him. Phone stayed up, recording every second. One officer looked toward the SUV, then back at the man. "Sir, until we confirm your claim, you need to step away from the property." "I understand," the man replied, "but I am already on it." That made the crowd react. Laughter broke out. Someone shouted, "He thinks he owns the place." The HOA president stepped closer again, ignoring the officers. "Listen carefully," she said. "You are not welcome here. Our HOA rules are clear. No outsiders. I have read your rules, the man answered. They no longer apply to me. Her smile faded for a moment, then returned even wider. You are brave, she said, or very stupid. The officer raised his hand. Ma'am, please step back. She obeyed, but her eyes stayed locked on the man. Arrest him, she whispered loudly enough for everyone to hear. The officer turned back to the man. Sir, can you explain again why you believe this is your property? The man opened his folder halfway, then stopped. I will explain when the right person arrives. The crowd grew restless. Some neighbors looked unsure now. Others still enjoyed the show. Minutes passed. The silence felt heavy. Then the SUV door opened. A tall man in a dark suit stepped out. He looked serious, focused, and professional. He closed the door gently and walked straight toward the calm man. People noticed something strange. The suited man did not look at the HOA president. He did not look at the crowd. He walked directly to the man everyone was mocking. He stopped in front of him and spoke clearly. Sorry for the delay, sir. That single word changed the air. Sir, the HOA president frowned. Excuse me, she said sharply. Who are you? The suited man finally turned to her. I'm the legal representative for the property owner. Laughter stopped. Phone shook slightly. The officer stepped forward. Property owner? Yes, the suited man said. He reached into his briefcase and pulled out documents. These papers show the completed purchase of the land, finalized last week. The HOA president waved her hand. That's impossible. Our HOA controls this area. The suited man shook his head. It was not renewed. The woman's face went pale. No one told us. The calm man finally spoke again. I sent notices, he said softly. Many times. The officer took the documents and read carefully. His expression changed. Ma'am, the officer said to the HOA president, these documents appear valid. Her voice cracked. That can't be true. The suited man added, from today forward, all HOA authority on this land is void unless a new agreement is made. The crowd went silent. A few neighbors lowered their phones. Some looked at the man with fear now, not laughter. The HOA president took a step back. So who is he? The suited man looked at the calm man with respect. He is your landlord. The word hit like thunder. The woman opened her mouth, but no sound came out. Her clipboard slipped from her hand and hit the ground. The man looked around at the faces that had mocked him minutes before. I came here peacefully, he said. You chose the noise. No one argued. The officer cleared his throat. Ma'am, you also made a false police report. Her legs shook. The calm man closed his folder and spoke one final line. This conversation is not over, he said, but it will be very different next time. The street that once felt powerful now felt small, quiet, and exposed, as neighbors realized respect matters more than rules, and calm truth can break loud lies every single time, forever, toe to the silence, after the reveal felt heavier than the shouting before. Neighbors stood frozen, unsure where to look. Some stared at the ground. Others stared at the calm man, like they were seeing him for the first time. He did not smile. He did not celebrate. He simply stood there, letting the truth settle. The police officers stepped aside, no longer treating him like a problem, but like someone important. The power in the street had shifted, and everyone could feel it clearly now. The HOA president finally found her voice, though it sounded weak. She tried to speak fast, hoping speed would hide fear. She said there must be a mistake, that paperwork could be wrong, that lawyers would fix this. Her words fell flat. The suited man calmly explained again, using simple facts and dates. Each sentence closed another door for her. With every word, her authority disappeared in front of everyone she once controlled. One officer cleared his throat and addressed the crowd. He explained that the situation was legal and clear. He warned that false police calls were serious. Murmurs spread through the neighbors. Some remembered how quickly they had judged. Others remembered laughing. A few felt shame burn in their faces. Phones slowly lowered. No one wanted proof of their behavior anymore. The street felt smaller, like it was shrinking under the weight of truth. The calm man finally walked forward, slow and steady. Every step made space open in front of him. He spoke without anger, but his words carried weight. He said he never planned to create trouble. He wanted peace and respect. He reminded them that respect is not demanded by rules, but earned by behavior. His voice stayed even, but each sentence landed hard, leaving no room for excuses. The HOA president tried one last move. She blamed her board. She blamed old contracts. She blamed confusion. The man listened without interruption. When she finished, he nodded once. He said mistakes happen, but actions matter more. He explained that calling police, shouting, and humiliating someone had consequences. His words were not loud, but they were final. The officer wrote notes quietly, each pen stroke adding pressure she could no longer escape. A neighbor stepped forward, nervous and unsure. He apologized, saying they only followed HOA orders. The man looked at him and said following orders does not remove responsibility. That sentence hit many people at once. Heads lowered. Silence returned. The suited man checked his watch and whispered something to the calm man, who nodded. Time was moving, and decisions were coming fast now. Before leaving, the calm man delivered one final message. He said the community had a choice. They could rebuild with fairness or continue with fear and control. He promised clear rules, equal treatment, and no abuse of power. He did not threaten. He did not boast. He simply stated facts. As he turned away, people understood something important had ended, and something new, calmer, and more honest was about to begin for all of them. The next morning, the street looked different. Cars moved slower. Curtains stayed closed. People spoke in whispers. The HOA office door remained locked, a paper notice taped to the glass. The calm man returned, not in a rush, wearing the same simple clothes. He walked the sidewalk like someone who belonged there. Neighbors watched quietly, unsure how to act. Yesterday, they felt powerful. Today, they felt exposed. Authority had changed hands, and everyone knew it. He stopped near the center of the street and waited. The suited man arrived again, this time with a folder thicker than before. Together, they spoke to the officers, who had returned to finish reports. The HOA president arrived late, eyes tired, confidence gone. She tried to speak, but no one rushed to help her. The calm man listened as officers explained fines and next steps. Each word felt heavy. The woman nodded weakly, understanding she was no longer in control of anything here. The neighbors slowly gathered, not shouting this time. Some apologized quietly. Others stayed back, ashamed. The calm man answered only when needed. He said respect would guide future decisions. He explained that rules would exist, but power would not be abused. People listened carefully now. Fear had turned into attention. The HOA president stood apart, realizing how quickly loyalty disappears. She had ruled with noise, not fairness. Now silence followed her everywhere. The lesson was clear to everyone watching. Later that day, official letters were delivered to every home. They explained the change in ownership and the pause of HOA authority. Panic spread through some houses. Others felt relief. Meetings were canceled. Rules were questioned. The calm man watched from a distance, allowing emotions to settle. He believed people deserved time to think. He did not want revenge. He wanted order built on fairness. This confused those who expected anger. Power without cruelty felt strange to them. That evening, the HOA president sat alone at her table, reading the same lines again and again. Her power had depended on fear. Without it, she felt small. Across the street, neighbors talked differently now. They discussed fairness, not punishment. They wondered how they missed the truth so easily. The calm man reviewed plans with his legal team. He wanted clear systems, honest communication, and equal treatment. The past would not be erased, but the future could be better if people chose humility. The next morning brought a quiet meeting in the open street. No shouting, no insults. The calm man spoke to everyone together. He reminded them that dignity matters more than titles. He promised structure without humiliation. People nodded, listening closely. Some felt hope. Others felt regret. The HOA president did not speak. She stood back, learning what silence feels like. The street felt lighter, as if pressure had been released. Change had arrived, not with noise, but with calm truth. It was not the end of conflict, but it was the end of arrogance on that street. The calm man knew challenges would come, yet he trusted truth over noise. The community had been forced to look at itself honestly, without titles or excuses. Some would grow from the lesson. Some would resist change. But the balance had been reset. In that quiet victory, a reminder lived on for everyone watching. Never judge a person by silence, because sometimes the quietest voice carries the strongest authority. That truth would guide the future for a long time ahead. No one would forget it, not after what they witnessed together there. The weeks that followed tested everyone on the street. Change always does. Notices were posted, meetings scheduled, and old habits challenged. The calm man stayed visible, walking the sidewalks, listening more than speaking. He wanted people to feel heard without fear. Some neighbors approached him with questions. Others avoided him, still unsure how to face their past behavior. He treated all the same, with steady respect and clear rules. The former HOA president tried to rally support, sending messages and holding private talks. Few answered. Power had slipped from her hands, and she did not know how to live without it. She blamed contracts, lawyers, and neighbors who failed her. What she never blamed was herself. The calm man did not respond to her attempts to argue. He focused on the future, not the noise behind him. A new meeting was announced, open to everyone. No raised stage, no microphone, just chairs in a circle. The calm man explained expectations in simple language. No harassment, no unfair fines, no threats. Rules would protect people, not control them. He invited questions and answered patiently. Some neighbors apologized openly. Others stayed quiet but listened. Trust does not return in one day, but it can begin in one honest moment. The police report reached its conclusion. The false call resulted in a fine and a warning. The former HOA president was officially removed from any leadership role. The news spread quickly. Some felt relief. Others felt embarrassed. The calm man accepted the outcome without celebration. Justice did not need cheering. It needed consistency. He reminded everyone that accountability is not revenge. It is correction. Small changes followed. Signs came down. Threatening letters stopped. The tone of conversation softened. Children played outside again, without adults watching with suspicion. The calm man approved basic improvements and delayed larger decisions. He wanted stability first. He believed people act better when they feel safe. That belief guided every choice he made, even when some demanded harsh action. One afternoon, a neighbor who had mocked him the loudest approached with shaking hands. He apologized, explaining fear and habit had driven him. The calm man listened and accepted the apology without lecture. He said growth matters more than pride. The neighbor left lighter, carrying a lesson he would not forget. Others saw this and felt courage to do the same. The former HOA president moved quietly now, avoiding eye contact. She learned how loneliness feels when authority disappears. No one followed her orders anymore. The calm man did not humiliate her. He allowed distance to teach what noise never could. Sometimes the strongest lesson is silence combined with consequence. As weeks turned into months, the street settled into a new rhythm. People greeted each other again. Problems were discussed, not shouted. Rules existed, but fear did not. The calm man remained firm and fair. He showed that leadership is service, not dominance. Those who once laughed learned respect. Those who once judged learned humility. The story of that street traveled beyond its borders. People talked about how power changed hands without violence, how truth spoke softly but won. The calm man never corrected the story. He let actions speak. In the end, the lesson was simple and lasting. When authority is calm and fair, communities heal. When respect replaces fear, peace becomes possible for everyone. The calm man knew the work was not finished. Fair systems need care, and trust needs time. He planned workshops, clear guides, and open hours for concerns. He believed transparency prevents abuse. Some resisted, missing old control, but most adapted. The street learned patience together. Even disagreements felt different now, shaped by listening instead of threats. The calm man stayed steady, reminding himself why he began. He wanted a place where dignity lived in daily choices. That vision guided him forward, one calm decision at a time, until the street felt like home again for everyone who lived there. No banners marked the change. No speeches closed a chapter. Only ordinary days improved quietly. That was enough. Real justice often looks boring, but lasts. The calm man smiled at that truth, knowing the loudest victory is a peaceful one. For everyone involved. Always. The final test arrived without warning. One quiet afternoon, official cars lined the street again. But this time, there was no shouting, no fear. Neighbors watched calmly as inspectors stepped out, carrying folders and serious expressions. Rumor spread fast, but panic did not. The calm man walked forward, steady as always, and welcomed them. He listened first, then spoke only when needed. His tone stayed respectful. That alone set the mood. The inspectors explained a full review was required due to past complaints. The calm man agreed openly. Transparency was not a threat to him. The review took hours. Papers were checked, boundaries measured, and old records studied. Neighbors waited together, talking quietly. Children played nearby, unafraid. That small detail mattered. The calm man answered every question with facts, never blame. When mistakes from the past were found, he acknowledged them and explained the fixes already made. Honesty removed tension. The inspectors noticed. They compared notes, nodded, and continued. The street felt different now, grounded and united. As the sun lowered, the lead inspector gathered everyone. He explained the results clearly. Ownership was confirmed. Rules were lawful. Complaints from the old HOA were dismissed due to abuse of power and false reports. A warning was issued to prevent future misuse of authority. The street exhaled together. Relief spread, but no one cheered. They had learned restraint. The calm man thanked the inspectors and wished them a safe return. Respect met respect, and the cars left quietly. Afterward, neighbors gathered around the calm man. Some thanked him openly. Others simply nodded, eyes honest. He reminded them that peace is protected by daily choices, not single victories. He encouraged fairness, patience, and listening. He said mistakes will happen, but dignity should never be lost. People understood. The street had changed because they had changed. Authority no longer scared them. It guided them. That evening, lights glowed warmly through windows. Conversations sounded normal again. The calm man walked home, passing houses that once judged him. He felt no pride, only responsibility. Power was never the goal. Balance was. He knew leadership ends the moment respect ends. That truth kept him grounded. He reviewed plans for the coming months, focused on maintenance, safety, and clear communication. Nothing dramatic, just steady work. Days turned into weeks. The story spread beyond the street, told softly, without exaggeration. It became a lesson shared between neighbors, then between communities. Loud control fails. Calm truth lasts. The calm man remained the same, avoiding attention. He believed examples speak louder than words. When asked why he stayed calm from the start, he answered simply, anger feeds chaos. Patience feeds clarity. One afternoon, a child asked him why people were mean before. He knelt and said fear makes people forget kindness. The child nodded, understanding more than expected. That moment felt like success. Not ownership, not authority, but learning passed forward. The calm man smiled then, a rare smile, quiet and genuine. Years later, the street would still remember the day power changed hands without violence. They would remember the lesson clearly. Never judge too fast. Never shout before listening. Never confuse rules with respect. The calm man became part of the place, not above it. That balance protected the peace they built. The story ended without fireworks. No courtroom drama. No shouting crowd. Just steady truth, proven over time. The calm man locked his door one night and looked back once at the quiet street. He felt content. Justice does not need noise. It needs consistency. That belief carried him forward. And so the neighborhood moved on, stronger and wiser. Calm replaced fear. Respect replaced pride. The lessons stayed alive in daily actions. Power had changed, but more importantly, people had changed. That was the real victory. Quiet, lasting, and earned.